Good afternoon. I can imagine there's many questions on behalf of the press related to our investigation on Forsyth Road, and I will share with you what I can. I understand the desire from the community and the media for information, and I can appreciate that. And I know that you all can appreciate the importance of us in law enforcement proceeding judiciously, carefully, cautiously, following correct procedures, following the law, to ensure that this investigation is conducted professionally and properly. The night of that incident, this agency received assistance from the New York State Police, the FBI, the Town of Clarkstown Police Department, and the Rockland County Sheriff's Department. We also received tremendous help and assistance from our EMS partners and from our community partners. And more importantly, we received the key to the case, the break in the case from a member of the public, being confident enough in sharing with the police department the information that he had gleaned, specifically the vehicle and the plate number. That's critical. That community involvement, that information from the public. Absent that, this would be a much more difficult press conference for me, although it is very difficult to do, because fortunately, in this case, we quickly apprehended the person that we believe is responsible for this horrific attack in our town. And we did it with help from the public and from our law enforcement partners. I am not shy to ask for help. We don't push away help from any agency that offers it to our department. So by putting the information out into the license plate reader system quickly, it alerted, of course, as you know now, New York City Police Department. It told them two things. It told them that an individual who was wanted for a horrific attack in Monsey was in their city, and it also told them that a bad guy who did something horrific in another area was in their city. So the LPR serves two purposes. One, to apprehend people, and two, to let law enforcement know if there's a bad guy coming into your jurisdiction. The town was covered by police protection during that event because I asked the state police to provide patrol coverage for the west end of our town, which they did, and because I asked the Town of Clarkstown Police to provide coverage in the Monsey Kaiser area of our town, which they did, and because I asked the Sheriff's Department to provide additional coverage in the Hillcrest portion, the square portion of the town. They wanted to know what more they could do, every one of those agencies. So all of our areas had police coverage that night. Everybody was protected because until we had this individual in custody, we didn't really know what was going on. We just knew we had a horrific event. As it stands today, you heard from the Chief of Staff, the Governor's Office, the New York State Police. My hats are off to them. The Sheriff's Department, Sheriff Falco, who stands with us here, my hats are off. Whatever you need, Chief, whatever you need. And I'm not afraid to accept their help. So the state police have agreed to take certain steps to enhance police visibility in the town of Ramapo. The Sheriff's Department has done the same. Our agency is also taking steps, and we've received offers from just about every police department in Rockland County to do that. With regards to the mechanics, specifically of Forsyth Road, it is a complex investigation because we too want to know why this individual went to that location, what connection, if any, there was to the congregation or the rabbi or that house. That's part of the investigation. We want to know why, just like you want to know why. And we're working hard to try to figure that out. take time. I hope we can come back with an answer. But know this, we're going to do everything, and I mean everything, that we can possibly do to figure it out. Not just get the bad guy, but figure out what prompted this attack. And if there were any other reasons, motivations that are associated with it. Because this is such a very complex investigation, I have to be really prudent in what I say. I am fully aware of the rumors, speculation, videos, news reports, I'll call them news reports, about what may or may not be going on with this investigation, about what we may or may not have done, and whether or not it's related to the previous incident that occurred in the town back on November 20th on Howard Drive. So let's talk about that for a second. Howard Drive is still a very active investigation, with a number of leads being pursued by the police department. The night of the morning of the event on Howard Drive, information was generated in the form of video of a vehicle that may have been in the area, well, it was in the area, but may have been involved in the incident. I wish the video was better. That video was shared with, we took that video, we went to a number of professional body shops. What do you guys think? They thought it might be a pilot. Thought it might be a pilot. Not that it is a pilot. We then went to the FBI with the video, and we said, can you enhance this video? And they worked very hard to try to get us something better on the video we had. Even with the best enhancement tools available from the FBI, at this moment in time, I cannot stand here and say definitively that it was a Honda Pilot. And neither can the FBI. This is very important because I cannot say it was a Honda Pilot. Looks like it could be more. There were a lot of leads on Howard Drive. Our detectives, of which I stand here tall and proud about our investigation division. These cases combined, because most detectives are working both cases, just my investigative division, just the town of Ramapo Police, 311 years of police experience. That's without me throwing into the mix, and a couple of my bosses. That's without the FBI. So there are experienced, well-tenured investigators working these cases. They're not rookies. They're well-trained, and they know what they need to do. Ramapo Police started working leads. That Honda Pilot was a lead. That's all it was. Our detectives are the ones that determined that. Our detectives are the ones that spent hours and hours and hours going through the license plates that may have been caught. Unfortunately, not in the town of Ramapo, because we don't have the system. You can just think about how many Honda Pilots are registered in the New York metropolitan area. But in any event, one of our detectives stumbled upon a Honda Pilot that was hit on an LPR in the town of Clarkstown about 2.5 hours before the incident on Howard Drive. That's how this Honda Pilot starts to get introduced into this situation that we're dealing with here in the town. So what do? They go follow it up. The vehicle's registered to a female in Greenwood Lake. They go talk to that female. She didn't have the vehicle. It turned out her son had the vehicle. He wasn't there. They look at the vehicle. There's nothing that they see indicative of that vehicle having been used in the crime on Howard Drive. This is just a lead. This is all we have here. They speak to the individual, and they talk to him, and they talk to the mom further, who was driving the car that night. And it turns out that he's the same individual that committed, or allegedly committed, the acts on Forshey Road. We didn't know that at that time. We didn't know anything at that time. And we had no evidence. And we had no probable cause to do anything other than follow a lead, okay? Which we did. And it didn't go away. It was kept in the lead sheet system. Members of our agency, our detectives, and members of the FBI all knew about the lead. Forshey Road happens. This individual is taken into custody by NYPD, and we hear the name, and the detectives go, wait a minute. Isn't that the guy we interviewed from Greenwood Lake? And the answer is yes. Now, with that information, and the fact that we now have him involved in a criminal act, we are able to obtain a federal search warrant for the vehicle, which we were not able to obtain prior to Forshey Road. So that vehicle was taken into custody with the FBI. It was in conjunction with our agency. Our detectives in the FBI have gone through that vehicle, and I can tell you that nothing was taken out of that vehicle. Certainly not some of the stuff that's being reported. The vehicle is still being examined forensically for any, we'll call it, say, trace evidence of any kind of connection, if there even is one, to our incident down in Howard Drive. I hope that gives some explanation about why people believe that this individual may have been involved in another act. But I have no evidence at all at this time to indicate that. None. As I said the first time we talked, we have to operate with evidence. As I said the first time we talked, this chief never said that the incident on Howard Drive was not a hate crime. I simply said we have no evidence to support that contention. And I made it very clear that if we got that evidence, that would certainly be something that could change the equation. That's the world I live in. I have to live in the legal world, not in the speculative world like others, live in. We're doing the best we can. Nobody should think for a second that we don't want to bring to justice the individual or anybody who may have been involved in what happened on Howard Drive. That's also a massive investigation with help from the FBI. I share this information with you because I have been authorized to do that. My counterparts at the FBI and I talk all the time, and I explain the difficulties that I'm having with regards to this whole information overload. And we made a decision together that it would be appropriate to share what I just shared with you. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? I think at this point, I think you have another speaker. I appreciate everybody's time and patience. And thank you very much.
The home of what turned out to be the suspect in the Monsey stabbings, and interviewed him about the November 20th stabbing. Sure. What was the date of that interview?
The incident occurred on Howard Drive on November 20th. On November 21st, we were already, steps were already in motion to begin the process of following that lead.
Is the hearing canceled tomorrow due to the Ramapo hearing?
Mr. Walsh,
I'm Tom Walsh. I'm the Rockland County District Attorney. The matter that took place on Forshey Road will be presented to the Rockland County Grand Jury tomorrow morning.
So, apologies, but just to be clear, was that interview on November 21st as well? Sorry, Chief.
First, we had to speak to the owner of the vehicle, which was his mother. And we had to, once we learned that he was probably the one that had it, I'm not sure if he was spoken to late on the 21st or early on the 22nd.
And did he say anything of substance in that interview?
No.
No?
Chief, question. Thomas's attorney and his family are adamant that he needs a mental health evaluation and that he had never expressed anti-Semitic views before. Based on the evidence that you have found, that you've gathered over time, is this a clear case of anti-Semitism from your perspective?
I clearly think Forshey Road is, without a doubt, a case that is properly charged under the federal system the way it's charged. And I remain open to the proper charging, as I've always been, for Howard Drive, if in fact we get an individual into custody. But there was enough, in the case of Forshey, to make the nexus between the federal charges for hate crime as opposed to just a vicious attempted murder.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I was just going to ask you, Chief, I guess you just answered it. I was going to ask you, I think you might have just answered, has your view changed for Howard Drive? Do you leaning a little more towards, there might be a little bit, in retrospect, might be a little bit more evidence now that given his journals, Mr. Thomas's journals, that might have been spurred by some dislike, hate to Jews? Are you leaning a little more towards that?
If in fact it turns out that an arrest is made on Howard Drive, irregardless of who that arrest is of, we're going to evaluate everything that we have, and if in fact we can make that a hate crime, we're going to make it a hate crime. Never said we weren't.
Chief, what has Mr. Grafton, or what has Grafton Thomas said to you about why he went into the home that day?
He hasn't said anything to me. He hasn't said anything to us.
Have you guys, how intimately have you guys been interviewing him? Has he been responsive? Has he spoken to you? Or has he just not said anything?
There have been no interviews.
Mr. Thomas's lawyer said earlier today that he had been up to a cabin owned by Mr. Thomas, who previously lived in there. They found some more writings and pill bottles. Has Ramapo police been up there, or do you know of any other agency that's been up there?
As I said earlier, this is a very complex investigation. I'm not going to respond to what the attorney may or may not have shared with you. And as I said and made clear, what I shared with you was with the consent of our partners in the FBI.
Chief, what has been your interaction, the department's interaction with Mr. Thomas? Whether or not it's criminal, have there been domestic incidents where police have gone to the home just to check on the mother? Like, how often does that happen?
So he does not reside in our jurisdiction. He resides in the village of Greenwood Lake.
Well, to the best of your knowledge, how often does that
I
happen?
think at this time we're out of time for questions. Maybe we can one-on-one afterwards if anyone has any specific questions.
One question.